Hey everybody, how you guys doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. That's right, we are back. It's been a couple weeks, or actually a couple months since you guys have seen a video from me. Had some issues going on. I talked about it in the podcast. I've done 2 podcasts already with Hipdad, who is my new podcast partner. We will be doing a podcast tomorrow evening after work, which is going to be Monday, December 2nd. So tune in for that one. Also, guys, moving forward, these are going to be the types of video that we're doing. I'm not going to do a whole lot of extensive, production and that kind of stuff into it. It's just going to be back like it was in the old days, where it's just me sitting down and just talking through some stuff. No more of the other stuff I was trying to do. It was just too convoluted. At any instance, I just want to make videos that you guys enjoy, simple, easy, nice, easygoing ones. I hope it's what you guys like. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please share the video. Help me get back out there again to reaching all the masses out there that need the goodness of the Linux tube. Today, we're going to take a look at XeroLinux. Steve, my good friend, has sent over some XeroLinux to look at. Before we dive into the video and the overview or the review of XeroLinux, I would like to take a moment to mention about Steve's current situation. He had to leave his country because he's in Lebanon and he's having a very hard time being able to sustain himself. So, if you guys could go visit his Ko-Fi, which is in the description, it's also going to be in the actual XeroLinux tool. But if you go to his Ko-Fi, you will be able to help support him. Give him what you can. Everything helps. He's in a very dire situation. So let's go ahead and take a look at his distribution now. So here is my virtual manager, which I have loaded XeroLinux into and installed it. I've taken a test run through it real quick to make sure everything's there, and it's pretty cool. But I've given it 6 cores of my machine and 8 gigs of RAM. So let's go ahead and start her up. And I'm using Virt Manager for those that are wondering. So this is a very heavily customized grub, which everything in XeroLinux is in this fashion, very aesthetically pleasing and customized. It's based off of Arch Linux, the KDE Plasma desktop environment. So we're logging in, and here we are. This is what you're greeted with. You've got this beautiful top bar that he's put down there, and also this panel down at the bottom. Now, over here on the right, that is something that I've discovered as well. If you move your mouse really fast, you get super mouse. Check that out. That's kind of cool. I don't know if that's a plasma bug or if that's something by design. In a way, it's kind of nice by design, because if you like on a large display, like I have a 65-inch, a 55-inch monitor hanging on the wall over there. If I have that, it's about 5 feet away. If I lose my mouse on there, I'm really looking hard at it. But if I just do that and just like make it bigger, I could find it pretty easily. So I'm not sure if that's a bug or not. But either way, that's something you could do that I found in this distribution. So anyhow, so over here on the left, you have your app launcher, which is categorized as always with KDE. It's like I said, it's KDE heavily themed, looking very beautiful. Nothing really in games. You got the heroic game launcher, which is something I did, but I'll show you how I did that. I didn't install it the typical Arch fashion way. Maybe I did, but I didn't. I'll explain later. Either way, there's that. Now, under graphics, of course, you have Ocular, Gwenview, and all that. Internet, of course, you've got those tools that are the standard ones that come in the KDE thing. Multimedia, you've got Audio Tube, which I've never heard of, but I imagine that is like a player of sorts. Oh no, where you can actually add. Yeah, it's some type of player. That's wild. Never heard of it. Anyhow, you guys can have fun playing with it. I mean, there's hundreds of those types of applications out there, so it's not new to come across something that you've never seen before. Camoso's a camera. Camoso's a camera tool. K3B is a CD tool. He's using Pavu. Plasma Tube, is that another YouTube player? thing? I don't know. Never heard of plasma tube. I have to check that out. Oh, NVIDIA source, PeerTube source, or pipe source. Interesting. It probably aggregates some videos from those sources. So there's that. I mean, there's all, like I said, there's all kinds of things out there in the Linux sphere for doing things that you want to get done. There's thousands upon thousands of tools because everybody contributes. Office, what I do notice is that there is no Office suite installed, which is a good thing. I always tell developers, not every time. If you like a certain office, not most of your people that are downloading your distributions like that office tool. So the first thing they're gonna do is uninstall it and install their own. So why put one in? Just when you compile your ISO, just remove the office stuff out of it and remove all the extra cruff out of it, which Steve seemingly has done. He just put in the tools, nothing extra outside of the basic feature, like VLC, the MPV player, that kind of stuff. For settings, of course, he's using ARander, which is how you could arrange your displays, Kavuntum, your Pavu control, system settings, and YAD. Not YAST. YAST is a pretty awesome tool. Under system, he's got your crash. Oh, I installed Btop. He had Htop, which I would like to show you the difference because I would think that Steve is probably going to change to Btop if he hasn't already known Btop. But anyhow, so here's Htop. Look at Htop. Okay? Look at that. Htop is pretty nice. Yeah, it's not bad. You know what I mean? It's not bad at all. But let's blow your mind away here. I want to show you the difference between Btop and Htop. Dang it. Where are you? Where did you go? Where did you go? Where did you go? Where did you go? I know I just had it. I know I just had it. Btop right there. There we go. Look at this difference. How's that? That looks so much better than Htop. It's organized. You got your processes over here in a graph style. Oh, there I go, blowing the mouse up again. And then here, like say you want to kill something, you just click on it to highlight it. And then at the bottom, as you can see, you can get info. You can, T for terminate, K for kill, and S for signal. So let's go ahead and kill it. So we're just going to hit K. We're going to hit yes, like that. Done. Very nice. So Btop is to me a lot more aesthetically pleasing and better to use than Htop. A little less confusing, but nonetheless, that's something that he might want to consider adding in there for instead. It's Btop, For utilities, of course, he's got File Roller, File Light. He's got Calc, all the typical case suite of tools for KDE, and then of course help, and of course you got your Power Session. So that is a look at the app launcher. Now in the center, you've got your time and date, which is an interactive calendar as well. I believe if you click on it, you could, I don't know if we can add things. No, you can't. You would probably have to go to here and then add stuff or whatever. Oh, nope. That's just to configure the settings of how it's displayed. I would think you have to open up calendar. Maybe there you can add it in through the app launcher. And then, so there's that. And then, of course, you have your network applet here, which is telling you your network usage. And then, of course, you've got your weather here. Now, I believe you can configure, Wonderground, which is here is where you could choose your station to put it in. Like I'm in Tacoma, so let's see here. I don't know what the weather station is for there. Anyhow, you could probably how about what happens if I put in my zip code? Does it do anything? No, it doesn't do anything. You probably have to go to Wonderground or whatever, figure out what the station is. So we'll go here, select that one, and then apply it. And then we've got our weather back again. I have to go figure out what it is. But anyhow, you can change whatever you want, configure it whatever you want. This is Yakwake, which is a very nice drop-down terminal emulator, which is very, very, very nice tool. I used to use it all the time. But if you're going to do proper terminal work, like you're going to be in the terminal for a while, either coding or doing whatever you want to do. This is something for if you want to copy and paste, touch a full file or something, create a file somewhere, something like that. This is what you want to use. But if you're going to do proper terminal work and you want to launch a proper terminal, which is going to be console here in KDE. Of course, this is your app app appdatfire, which is your system update. I don't know why I can't say that name. But either way, it's appdatfire. It's your system updater. Of course, here's your volume control. Then, of course, this is going to be where any removable media like thumb drives that you attach will be there. This is your network. Now, one thing I did do is I tested a Proton VPN download configuration file, which I installed to it, which is very easy to do. But either way, I can make a video on that if you want me to, on how to do that. If you want me to, just go ahead and drop a comment down below in the comment section if that you want me to make the Proton video on how to set up a Proton network connection like this, so you don't have to use the Proton VPN app or anything like that in Linux. And then, of course, right here is your power profile, which you can switch between, like saver mode, power saver mode, or performance mode, that kind of stuff. You just go into the settings right here, I believe, and that's where you can change your different power management settings. Brightness display, other settings right here. So either way, you could set that up through there. And then, of course, right here is your power session. Down at the bottom, he's got this dock, which is I'm not sure if it's Latte dock or which dock it is. It's a dock, and it looks nice. On the end here, he's got the XeroLinux post installation toolkit, which is something that he's very proud of. And this is piece de resistance. I know I didn't say that correctly, Steve. I know you speak French. I speak Spanish, Tagalog, and a little bit of Russian and Ukrainian, but for the most part, I don't do French very well. So I'm sorry I butchered it, but you knew what I meant. Anyhow, this is what we're going to take a look at here in a little bit, because this is definitely something we're spending some time on. And then, of course, you've got your pinned icons here, which is Dolphin File Manager, which is a file manager for KDE. Once you've seen a file manager, you've seen them all, pretty much, outside of a terminal-based one like Ranger, Midnight Commander, which is. And then, of course, Firefox. What I want to note about Firefox is this. When you open up Firefox, normally you get the Firefox basic window. He's changed it, and it opens up to this. And this is what his Linux headquarters, he terms it Linux HQ, but it's his https XeroLinux.xyz webpage. And so here you can go and you can see where he's got some curated quick launch web pages that he's added, or I don't know what you want to call them. But anyhow, they're here. These are ones that undoubtedly that I know for a fact he's used for some of his stuff. And he felt that he should add them here for you guys to use. Like this Chroot guide is a very awesome guide. The Docker and Docker Compose guide is an awesome one. Ventoy is pretty good. Homebrew down there is pretty good. The Aurora Bluefin is also very good. Waydroid is good. Also, he's got how do you set up one over here that I saw, which was a hyperlink, which is done by right here. My Linux for Work, Plasma, and Hyperlink side by side. My Linux for Work has beautiful dot files for Hyperlink. So he's one out there like Zany and Jakul. It's another one out there if you like Hyperlink. Just a side note, not to take away from XeroLinux, but you could run them side by side. That's awesome in here. So either way, this is a very nice thing that he's done with Firefox. That is a nice aesthetic change that is very, very nice. So there's that. And then, of course, he's got console and gparted. Gparted is a disk partitioning tool, and because you're making changes to your actual hard disk or solid state drive, you need to have administrative privileges, so you're going to have to put in your root. And so this is what you launch with, and you could do things in here. If you're not familiar on partitioning, disks or doing changes to disks, just stay out of there. Just use Linux as it is, and just don't make any changes, because you could definitely bork your system very easily that way. That's just a PSA. And then, of course, here is the system settings, which, of course, is your standard system settings for KDE. Now, what I want to mention in here is, let's go to the colors and themes section, if I can find it. All right, here. And I'll show you that he is using the lay-in theme. That is what he's known for. And if you look at the icons, he's using the Tila circle icons, purple dark, which is what he's come to. I think before, it was Capuchin or something like that. I can't remember. but I might be wrong. I don't know. But anyhow, it's the like if you go to the plasma style, it's also going to be the LAN ones that he's used. Cursors are probably going to be the breeze cursors. Okay. Splash screen. He is using none, and then the login is going to be SDDM, and he's using the zero dark theme that he's created for that, which is very very nice. So either way, that is the look. He's also using the lay-in window colors right here. So that is the theming that he's used for that. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at wallpapers. Let's take a look at some of the wallpapers because I want to show you something as well. If you look at these wallpapers that he's had, that he's curated for this, he's named them Zero Plasma, which is very, very nice. And he's numbered them beautifully and organized them quite well. He's got quite a few of them curated, but they're all very beautiful. The original one I think you come up with is this one, which I changed it to this one, which is very nice, the Plasma 10. Plasma 1 is what it comes up with, or used to come up with. I can't remember. But either way, there's lots of wallpapers. And I know a lot of people are like, ooh, yay, wallpapers. But, you know, it's always nice when distro maintainers and distro developers include some nice artwork for you. So just want to say thanks to Steve because he's actually taken the time to put together a very beautiful looking distribution. Now, let's take a look at this XeroLinux post install tool because this is the most important part. One of the things I will tell you though that I should have started the video with, but I forgot to mention, so let's take the time and do it now. Once important thing that you want to know, once you install this system, you want to do the update first. Make sure you do the sudo pacman -syu or syu for update and update everything to get the latest and greatest of everything before you run all this stuff. Once you do that, then you could run this stuff. So let's see here. So to check out to update, to check out your updates, you can go up here to the app datifier. God, I can't say that name. And just hit this little rejuvenate thing or this, checking symbol right here. It's going to check all the different things. And of course, it'll come up with the list in here of all that you need to do. I updated my system, so it's up to date. But it'll come up with all these here. And then up here, there'll be a button to upgrade system. You hit that, and it'll do it. And if it's something that requires a shell restart, it'll ask you to restart your shell, your Plasma shell, and it'll relaunch it, and boom, you're good to go. So that is the way that you want to do your system update first before you do any of this. So now that you've got your system updated, so now you say let's do system setup. We're going to type 1. Okay. We're going to click in here. We're going to type 1. We're going to hit enter. So now if you want to fix Pipewire and Bluetooth, you can activate FlatHub repositories for Vanilla Arch. What I will tell you this is that Steve has a way that you can actually download his scripts and install it on Vanilla Arch. And if you do that on Vanilla, you do the Vanilla Arch setup, do the update, download his install scripts, it'll install XeroLinux on here, and then you could run that number 2 if you want to. This number 2, if you've done that the Vanilla Arch way, that's what he means by that Vanilla Arch. Then you can enable multi-thread compilation for Vanilla Arch as well, and install third-party GUI or package manager. Now, what I want to mention on that is that Steve and I have had several conversations in the past, and he makes it known that his distribution is not necessarily for new to Linux users. Now, that being said, the class of new to Linux users that are coming in today have had decades already of computing technology classes or just use from over the course of years, just sitting down and playing with their computers. And Linux has been very prevalent for them. So most of them coming in aren't exactly what we would call noob. They're new to Linux and may not understand how to navigate around it, but they're pretty comfortable in a terminal. So most of them don't really need the TUIs as much as they would like them. So that being said, it's kind of a different environment nowadays for people coming to Linux that are probably finding his distribution. So at any instance, that's why he doesn't install the package managers, because to do package management and to see what the error codes are, you definitely want to do that in a command line level so you can see if there's an issue, because oftentimes the prompts will tell you that there's something wrong, 1, or 2, they'll tell you that something's wrong and offer the solution in there as long as you read what's in there. Don't be like Linus that on his Linux challenge and just delete your entire desktop because he didn't read the command right next to it. So at any instance. That is something to know. Now, so that's what you could do with that. So if I want to hit Q to go back to the main menu, hit enter, and then there's that. You can do system drivers, you can do Dockers, you can do system customization. Let's see what that has. Number 4. Oh, you can set up fast fetch for vanilla Arch. You could do Blesh for Bash. You can set up Oh My Posh, which is already installed. You can do ZSH all in one right here for Posh plugs, and then the top 3. What? Top 3 Hyperlink advanced dots for and configs? Is this like what like I said on Firefox? These are things that he's done that I know of. So let's take a look at number 5, because I have a feeling this will install those dot files in Hyperlink right in. Oh, let me just clear that mistake. Hit enter. Yep, there it is. So you could select My Linux for Work or Jokulits, which is very, very nice, which is very close to Zany's OS out there. Parsant, and then 4 goes back. So if you're a Hyperlink guy like I am and you want to run both of these, here's your thing right here. You can do it right here. That is pretty dope right there. That is cool. I'm just going to hit back. I'm not going to do that. But anyhow, not 3, 4, enter. Boom. There you go. So you can do that. Of course, if you want to hit, of course, quit to go back to the main menu. Game launchers and tweaks you can install here. Let's do 5. Let's see what happens if I hit 5. And let's install the Steam LAC GPU overclock. Wow. Let's install number 1 for Steam. It's gonna do that. We're gonna do your password, obviously, because you're doing some elevated privileges. We're gonna hit the default for 1, and we're gonna hit the default again, just for the sake of the video. Not sure what's happening. Can't resolve fluid synth 2.4 or wine meta. This may not work, but let's try it. Let's just hit skip. We're gonna hit Y. Of course, it's gonna do its thing. It's gonna install. Let's see how fast it does this. It's not a whole lot. Maybe a minute, minute and a half. Yep, we're already done downloading. Now we're just checking the packages, and it's going to do its thing. I will pause the video. When it's done, we'll resume. All right. Well, I didn't pause the video. So we are going to check and see if we have Steam installed. Let's go to games. Steam, it's right there. Load disk space. Yes, of course. I didn't give it very much. I only gave it 20 gigs. So where's Steam? Why didn't it launch? Probably because of that error. Do that again. Yeah, probably because of that error. I may need to reboot one of the two. But either way, so Steam installed. So that's one of his tools. System troubleshooting and tweaks. Let's look at what's in 7. If you have issues. Oh, you can install and activate firewall. You can clear Pacman cache, unblock Pacman DB in case there's a database like your file gets locked. This is very nice. You could activate V4L2 loopback for OBS Virtual Cam, and you could change your auto login session from X11 to Wayland. Very, very nice. Of course, you've got these build updated Arch ISO. Wow. Waydroid installation. There's a lot of little cool things in here that you can play with. I'm, for the sake of the video, not going to play with any of those, but I'm definitely want to play with those. So there you go. Anyhow, there you go. That is a look at the XeroLinux tool. That is the caveat, and not the caveat, but the pièce de résistance that is what makes XeroLinux, the crux of it, and it's amazing. Other than that, everything else is just a very heavily customized Arch Linux install, whether it be vanilla Arch that you've installed using his script, or you just downloaded the ISO. As I said, to get the ISO. Now, to get the ISO, you want to go, let's go take a look at Firefox. Let's open up Firefox. And to get the ISO, you have to go to his Ko-Fi page and download it. Let's see, distro. Go to Projects Distro. Scroll down around here. Of course, you got DT's review of it. DT is also a friend to XeroLinux as I am. So we're going to go over here to the XeroLinux ISO right here. This is where you can buy the ISO. I believe it's $6 or more. Well, €6 or more. I'm not sure if that's equitable. Maybe $7. I don't know. But anyhow, you can buy now, and then he'll give you the ISO. Also, if you want to download his scripts, there is, if you go back and you go to scripts right here, I believe somewhere in here, DT installers right here. XeroLinux the installers right here, and this will tell you exactly how you can do the scripts or whatever it is that you want to, if you want to get the scripts. So either way, that is how you can install on Vanilla Arch. So that is very, very nice, and that's all found at Linux HQ, which is at XeroLinux.xyz. So you don't have to actually buy the ISO and go through the ISO like I did here off the Firefox webpage. So that is a very quick down and dirty look at XeroLinux. It's a beautiful distribution. It has been for a very long time. It's been an evolution or a work in progress forever. As with anything in Linux, it's always a work in progress. And Steve has done a very beautiful job. Chef's kiss to him on that. Go support him if you can. Even if you're not using XeroLinux, go to his Ko-Fi. Throw him a couple bucks. He's in a very unique situation due to the world view right now. And anything can help. This is a guy who's contributed and done a lot for the Linux community, so let's do a little bit for him. Either way, y'all keep doing what you do. Stay safe, stay blessed, and above all, keep Linuxing, and I'll see you in the very next one. Bye.